Okay, this is Algebra 1, Part 1, Lesson 4.4 on page 254, Problem 2, graphing a real-world function rule. In other words, a real-world equation. And yes, they do use them. The function rule W equals 146C plus 30,000 represents the total weight in pounds of a concrete mixer truck that carries C cubic feet of concrete. Basically, what that means is the truck itself weighs 30,000 pounds. And for every pound of concrete, or sorry, cubic foot of concrete, you're adding 146 pounds. Okay, so the same as the last problem, only this is bigger numbers. It said the truck can hold 200, so we're going to break that up. And you can break it up by 50s, however you want to do it. You can break it up by 75, 25, although that'd be a lot of numbers. And then when you put 0 into this equation, here's your equation right here. When you put 0 in, this becomes 0, so it's just the truck itself, 30,000. If you put 50 cubic feet of concrete, 50 times 146 plus 30,000 gives you 37,300. So 50 cubic feet of concrete is going to give you 37,300 pounds. And you just keep doing that. Plug that into the same equation and see what you get. Okay, to graph that, because our pounds go anywhere from 30,000 to 60,000, we're going to want to count by 10,000s. We certainly don't want to count by ones on that one. And then since we counted by 50s here, we can count by 50s here. Whatever you do on each axis, it's just got to be consistent. You can't count 10, 50, 30, 10, 50, 300, 8,000. I mean, it can't be random. You have to count by the exact same thing. So here they've counted by 10,000, 20. They've only labeled the 20,000s, but they actually counted by 10,000. And here they actually counted by 25, but only labeled the 50s, which is fine. You can do it that way as long as it shows what you're counting by. And so our first point is 0, 30,000. So 0, 30,000, 50, 40,000. Actually, it's just under 40, 37,300. And then 100, 44,600, which is between 40 and 50. And then 150 was 51,900, which is just over 50. And then 200 was 59,200, which is just under 60. Okay. The got it says the function rule W equals 8G plus 700 represents the total weight of a spa that contains G gallons of water. So with no water in there, that means that the spa weighs 700 pounds. That's our starting point. So the 250 gallons is the most water you could put in it. What is the weight of the spa when it's empty? And that we just talked about. If there's no water in there, then this is 0. So the spa weighs 700 pounds by itself. Oops, sorry, lost the problem there. And part B says, what is a reasonable graph of the function rule? Okay, so again, because it goes up to 250, we're going to count by 50s. And then we're going to plug them into this equation. So 0 gives me 700, 1 gives me 708. I obviously don't want to count by ones all the way up to 250, so I'm going to count by 50s. If I put 50 in there, 50 times 800, 8 is 400, so that'd be 1100. 100 times 8 is 800, plus 700 is 1500, etc. So you're going to put those in to the equation and get your y values. The problem with the graphing calculator is it doesn't tell you right here on the picture what it's counting by. But since I counted by 50s and there's 2 marks right here, I'm guessing they're doing it by 25 again. And since this went from 0 to 50, it looks like it's counting by 5s, maybe. Or 10s, I'm not quite sure. Probably 10s. So we started at 0, 700. Okay, hundreds, it's counting by 100, sorry. 50, 1100, etc. You have to make sure that your axes are labeled, please. The weight of the spa when it's empty obviously is 700 because that's 0 gallons in there, means the spa itself weighs 700 pounds.